investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
Hi, everybody. We are live. Welcome to the daily market update. King Nick first on the stream. Welcome to the daily market update from Token Metrics. Upset, wound up, market going down. Who's going to help you when the market goes down? Regular YouTube channels? Other people? No. Us, our sponsor, tokenmetrics.com. So without further ado, hit that like and subscribe button and let's tear in to today's market update. Your market update. Dump duration. Is this a 1 week or a 1 month dump? Let's check it out. So starting with legacy, industrial production moving up. Factory strength on the right, moving up. So economy is good. Seems like it's better than expected. Okay. And you're like, well, what does that mean? This means dollar higher. All year long, me and the rest of the world have been sitting around waiting for the dollar to go down. And it's been amazing how crypto has gone up, even though the dollar has been in a range. Now the dollar is going green, looks like an altcoin, and the bigger the base, the higher in the space, with the head and shoulders bottom pattern. So better economy, higher rates, higher dollar. Now, how do I know about higher rates? How did I know to check for that? Well, believe it or not, folks, the FX, the currency, and the bond markets in legacy are the smartest markets. In other words, I know in crypto, we're smart, but in legacy, the smartest players are in bonds, interest rate swaps, and currencies. If these guys believe that the dollar is breaking out, there's one of two things or both going on. One, there's a problem out there somewhere. Russian troops on the border in Poland, who knows, right? There could be higher interest rates, a bond market debacle. I don't know what it is, but if people are buying the dollar on good economic news, it's a little unnerving because people buy the dollar when there's something wrong in the financial system. So what could be wrong? Well, how about a failed head and shoulders pattern in 10-year interest rates in the United States? In other words, interest rates should have gone down based on this chart. Instead, they turned around, invalidated the chart pattern, broke a big Gann line that stopped interest rates twice back in March and May. And now I'm looking at this thing going, oh my God, on this Gann chart, there's a lot of real estate between 1.6 and 2.23. And let me tell you something, folks, just so we're clear. You have a much higher dollar and rates at the 10-year note yield above 2%, crypto's going to get wrecked. Everything could get wrecked if that transpires. So if bonds go down and rates go up, bad, bad, bad for crypto. Now, originally, I was thinking crypto was going to get wrecked this week. Thank God that played out, and I got my customers and loyal viewers like you ahead of the game. All right? But you have to keep US 10Y up along with DXY on your trading view. This is the stuff to watch to find out if we got a 1 week dump or a 1 month dump. All right? Now, stocks, of course, are oblivious. Okay. And of course, it's nauseating that, Web 2.0 broke out of a consolidation formation, came back, retested it, and may want to try to go higher. So, yes, it's completely nauseating to think that equities may go up for the rest of the year while crypto either gets hammered for 1 week or 1 month. I'm hoping it's just 1 week, but as usual, stocks are nauseating. Now, that said, our stock market is not going to survive the 10-year note at 2%. Now back to crypto. Okay, again, pounding the table on this now. You heard about this yesterday. Don't mind repeating myself. Every time there's an interlink between legacy and Bitcoin, okay, Bitcoin dumps. 2017 at the high, the CME futures contract came out. Bitcoin went down for 3 years. Then the Coinbase IPO comes out and Bitcoin dumps for 3 months. Then the Bitcoin futures ETF comes out, ironically an ETF that contains the futures contract that originally dumped the market in 2017. That comes out and Bitcoin will probably trade awful for 3 weeks. So 3-year dump, 3-month dump, 3-week dump. Or so I hope. This is a Bitcoin monthly chart. So again, I don't know if this is just going to be a bad week or whether it's going to spill over. It certainly looks like, trading types and fast money people, as I call them, probably should be selling rallies or trying to hedge, okay, if there's an uptick. Because I was expecting this week to be bad, but I had no idea about the amount of FUD that was actually going to come out, strangely, as it always is with FUD, all in one day. It's almost like they coordinate this. Okay, here is a new projection if this is 3 weeks or maybe more. So it wicked down to 58,000. We talked about that yesterday as a level. So there were buyers at 58. That makes sense. There was a lot of support there. Now the question is 58K going to hold? So they ran the stops at 60. Bitcoin hit 58. Now the question you have to be asking yourself is, I thought 58 was going to be at the end of the week, right? When I anticipated the correction to at least stop. More on that later. Don't go anywhere. Now, it's Tuesday, and I'm like, well, this is going to be a shit show for the rest of the week until Saturday. So where could it go? Well, in September, Bitcoin went to the 100-day moving average. That's the blue squiggly line. And I'm like, well, maybe it goes to the 100-day moving average again. That's 52K. So I was talking about a pain point down at 54K, and it kind of makes sense, right? If 54 is a level that could hurt people, that's based on analysis we heard somewhere else about what the Bitcoin ETF and futures contract could do to the market into December. So if max pain, according to that analysis, was 54, why not a wick down to 52? And while we're at it, why not wick down underneath the 100-day moving average to like 50? It could happen. Now, hopefully, honestly, hopefully they just get it all done. I don't want to see this thing where it wicks down to 58 and does this like dead cat grinding bounce. So hopefully it's over. Hopefully we just sort of range trade between now and Saturday. But if there's no bounce at the end of this week, okay, it's probably going to 52, and there could be a deeper wick or more selling in December. So originally, I was thinking parabolic move up after Thanksgiving. That's the U.S. Thanksgiving Day holiday. Now, I'm going to stick to that for now, but I'm just going to tell you this, folks. If there's no rally around Thanksgiving, then you have to GTFO. Hopefully, they smash this thing low enough so you can buy the dip. Okay? So let's stick with that for now, that, there's going to be an opportunity near the end of November. Okay? And that better work, because I always say it's not a bull market unless you can buy the dip and make money. Sometimes the scarier the dip, the better. So it's a 1 week dump. Okay. And then you try to buy the dip, not investment advice. And then that should create a big rally. And if that big rally fails, then GTFO. So that is the summary of the plan. Now back to this chart. Total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin. Tokenmetrics TV viewers were listening to me talk about this. I'm happy to bring it to you on YouTube now. I'm looking at essentially all altcoins, okay, taking out, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So all altcoins in the world were worth $1 trillion over the last, say, 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, it tried to get through $1 trillion twice before, failed. Solana and AVAX and ETH helped it go through $1 trillion, and now it's coming back through hard. That's not good. That's not good. I mean, $1 trillion for all altcoins, $1 trillion for Bitcoin is one thing. Because, I mean, Bitcoin's kind of like, Apple Computer or some big cap tech stock. So $1 trillion for the Bitcoin network is not an unreasonable number, especially if you compare it to equities. But the question you have to start asking yourself is the proof of stake altcoin universe worth $1 trillion? Yes or no? Okay, well, the answer was yes. Now we have to ask ourselves, what happens if the answer is no? What happens if the answer to that question is hell no? Right? That's the difference between this 1 week and 1 month correction. Okay, so if it's a disaster, total altcoin market cap could hit 615 billion. So everything since September could get wiped out. Scary, right? I would rather sell upticks now, buy the dip at the end of November, put a stop in, and if that stop gets triggered, turn around and reverse, right? So you either get long for a parabolic, or if it doesn't work, you get stopped out and get short because this thing's going to crater in December. So that would be my overall trading strategy. And of course, that is not investment or trading advice. But since we're committed to bringing you a market update every day on YouTube, we might as well give you a kick-ass market update that gives you actionable research and ways to protect yourself against a down move, as well as a strategy to capture the up move, which I don't mind saying, you may not be able to find that anywhere else on YouTube. You may, but maybe not. And we would appreciate it if you'd come here, tell your friends, and most of all, keep that alerts button turned on, because we're going to be changing the time we do this stream, and you want to make sure that you get notified. All right, let's talk about Cardano. I know that we got a lot of people out there who are really into Cardano, and why not? It went from 20 cents to $3. How could you not be into it, right? Okay. This chart is doing a lot of weird things. Cardano, consolidated. It went down after hitting $3 and it went sideways. No big deal. It made a triangle formation. No big deal. Then it started to break out of the triangle. All right, you thought it was. But what really happened was it hit its 100-day moving average and got rejected. Okay. Now, unless Cardano is coming back above 221, which seems somewhat unlikely at this point, I am wondering, going back to that total altcoin market cap slide, whether or not you need to evaluate this position. So if you hold Cardano at 20 cents, I don't know, whether you take profits or not, it's probably up to you and your accountant as to what you think about, capital gains tax rates. Now, if you FOMO'd into Cardano at 3, thinking it was going to 10, you might want to pay really close attention to what happens in Cardano at 2. So if Cardano is above 225 or 230, you're good. You're good. No big deal. But if Cardano isn't, it's my responsibility as an analyst to be intellectually honest and say, if there's going to be a problem, it could be Bitcoin, it could be Cardano, and it could be this whole universe of proof of stake DeFi coins that creates either a big 1 week correction or a 1 month correction. Talked about that already. Bottom line, be careful in Cardano. Okay. Let someone else buy the dip. Let someone else prove it's good. Then after it proves itself, then you go in. But don't be catching the falling knife on Tuesday when the correction could last until Saturday or until January. Okay, ETH. Not really a crisis, okay? There was Gann support at 4,200. I think we talked about that. It actually wicked down there. So as long as ETH is above 4,200, then maybe this market's not a disaster, right? It's just a correction for a week, and you don't have to freak out. Okay, now ETH starts closing below 4,200, then you're probably looking at a wick down to 3,600, and that could come fast, just like it did today. Okay, bulls are probably going to look at today's FUD and blow it off. I don't blame them. But you still can't be a smart ass, okay, when Mr. Market is telling you to be careful. Definitely this week, and then we'll see after that. Now, let's talk about our sponsor, tokenmetrics.com, and the portfolios brought to you by our mathematics and quant team. What do our indices tell you? Well, every day, I check this out. Tokenmetrics.com groups coins that are highly ranked into what looks like portfolios. And I love to look at the daily ones because they always give me great hints about market direction. Now, one note on the Coinbase one is that 30% went to Litecoin, which is kind of unbelievable because Litecoin always goes up right before the market dumps. It's the third time it's happened. I actually retweeted this from the guy that came up with it, Don Alt. So that's on my Twitter. And he says, it's unbelievable that every time there's a pump in Litecoin, the market goes down. Now, that said, the Coinbase index reduced the amount of money into Solana and moved money into Avalanche and Litecoin. I also see crypto.com, which means our AI is focusing on exchange coins. So after the dump is over, exchange coins may be the place to look. FTX, Binance Coin. Now back to Litecoin. I'm starting to wonder if this is the computer telling us that Litecoin may actually outperform Bitcoin during this corrective period. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm wondering if the thing being into Litecoin is a signal to either try to buy Litecoin on the dip at 220 or get out of Bitcoin for a month. So the computer is scientific, and then I try to make a subjective read. Your subjective read might be different. That's okay. Of course it's okay, right? These tools are about helping you figure out what your roadmap is to make money in crypto. Okay, Kraken, a couple things to know. Sandbox made the portfolio. It switched overnight. Sandbox, as I understand it, went way down and came screaming back up. So we were right to BTFD in Sandbox, Decentraland, and Big Cap Metaverse. Big Cap Metaverse, right? That's Facebook and all the big coins, okay? They kill this market. There's just people down there waiting for that stuff. Now, on the subject of signals given by RAI, you may have noticed from yesterday's stream that Pax Gold showed up as a 25% allocation. Now, for RAI in the crypto world, Pax Gold might as well be a cash or stablecoin allocation. So RAI was sort of ahead of this dump before it happened. So it's nice when like my charts and the AI are on the same page, because I knew after expecting this thing to correct for 9 days based on work from yesterday's stream, that gold, as long as Pax Gold shows up in the daily portfolios, this market's probably going to continue to dump, right? Okay, Qcoin, same thing. That's actually got a bigger allocation to PAX of 30%. And that's interesting because this exchange is like small coin wonderland. So if you're out there speculating, careful. One of the things that me and Forrest pounded the table on, and hopefully people listened, was to stay in bigger cap altcoins because they would survive a correction, right? If the market dumps and there's a 10% decline in ETH and Solana, et cetera, will probably come back, okay? Small coins that get wiped out, you may not see them come back if there's a big, unless it's a 2017 parabolic, starting, say, either in Thanksgiving or after the Christmas holiday in late December, right? You want to be in coins that will come back if there's a gigantic dump, okay? Binance, same thing for the daily portfolio, 30% Pax Gold, 20% Litecoin. So I don't know what our thing sees in Litecoin, but one thing I will say about it is even though people love to hate Litecoin, don't underestimate Litecoin as something that could be accepted as payment at Christmas, at the holidays. Now, we've actually got another thing about news on a digital cash solutions that I'm going to be going over at the end that could be game-changing news that I've got our quant team working on. So you definitely want to stay tuned for a digital cash solution news. Now, let's talk fundamentals and FUD. This is research from Goldman Sachs showing how much cash there is on the sidelines. Okay, so there's the dark blue line shows there's $5.5 trillion sitting in cash out there in the world. Where is all that money going to go when that blue line, the light blue line, when the Fed funds rate starts going up? It's an open question. Is it going to go into bonds? Probably not until rates go much higher. Is it going to go into stocks? Well, I mean, if it hasn't gone into stocks yet, why put it in now? Now, where it could go is crypto, particularly if the market gets hammered, right? So if it's a 1 week correction, there's $5 trillion waiting to be invested. If the market gets hammered for a month, can you imagine what happens when all that money goes discount shopping? So don't get too down in the mouth. In other words, if you got caught here, a lot of people probably did. We told people to get out, but it's okay if you missed it. It's okay. Because there's money out there waiting to get involved. The question is, where's it going to get involved? Now, gold and silver guys think it's actually going into gold and silver. They actually think that stocks, bonds, and crypto are going to get wrecked, and this money's going to wind up in gold. Now, they've been saying that for 15 years, but I think we just need to acknowledge that that can happen, particularly since RAI is into gold. So it's not investment advice, but if you need to raise cash, it may be better to be in PAX than stable coins, particularly since if the SEC goes on the warpath against DeFi, more on that in a minute, PAX may be better than some stable coin that the SEC goes after. Now, let's talk metaverse. Sandbox hits support at 230, goes straight up. Wasn't the only guy thinking about buying the dip in this, obviously, right? A lot of other people looking at this chart. Upside for Sandbox is 344. Not sure how long it can massively outperform the market this week, but, big cat metaverse is BTFD, whatever dip you can get. Somebody on the stream yesterday, congratulations to you. Outstanding call. I mentioned the possibility of this thing going to 2, and you said there's no way it's going to 2. And as soon as I saw your comment, I was like, wow, this thing isn't going to 2. So I really appreciate that comment and your conviction. Decentraland dip back up to resistance near 337 And what if tokenmetrics.com and tokenmetrics TV and now tokenmetrics live stream users, market update, what are they going to hear about? Well, all year you've made money buying dips underneath resistance. So if something gets to resistance, it stops. That's technically where you're supposed to sell. But what's worked all year in crypto is while it's still underneath resistance, you buy any sharp dips. Because when it turns around and goes through the resistance, it's usually a huge green candle. And this strategy, even though it's risky, it's easier than trying to just FOMO in to a giant green candle. Better to have trade location and beyond and have it, say, to have trade location and have the position, right, before it goes. Is Decentraland going to go? I don't know. My guess would be end of this week or end of November, there's going to be a big move in these metaverse stocks or metaverse coins, not investment advice. Now, DYDX, a derivatives theme. This is a little scary. So the good news is it's gotten to 12. That's the 62% retracement of the recent move up. So DYDX should technically be a great buy here. Like I saw it at 15. I was like, hey, maybe that's going to hold. You know, this should be kind of like a half off sale. I'm telling you right now, if DYDX doesn't hold 12.5, then Perp's going to wind up the victor. I thought that they could both have room to go up, and I still hope that's right. I really do. In DYDX, I want to see 12.5 hold, even if they try a wick down below it. Now, again, it's scary because we could be looking at 1 week or 1 month dump. So let's, let's put our hands together and hope DYDX holds. Now, yesterday we talked about Axie Infinity. Is it over? Okay, Mr. Market today is like, yeah, I think we're done, right? There were dip buyers down at 130 or down near 125. I think there's a better metaverse play out there than this because it didn't break out. And then when it got hit hard. I don't think I'd be touching this. I don't hate it, but I would say good coins at good location. And I would personally wait for them to run stops at 114 near the end of the week before I thought about getting involved in this as a metaverse play. Litecoin. Okay, so our AI likes it. I like it. You know, it's this nightmare every time it goes up, the whole market dumps. It got to 221, which was the 62% retracement of the most recent move up. That could be constructive. It's holding currently above the top end of its recent range at 236. That's constructive. And the question is, can Litecoin go up if the rest of the market's going down? Ugh. You know, would love to think so. Would love to think so, but that may not be the case. So if Litecoin continues to show up in our daily indices at tokenmetrics.com, our sponsor, then you can maintain a positive outlook on Litecoin, or you can maintain an outlook that when this market turns, Litecoin may do better than Bitcoin. So a couple different ways to think about it. Now, Solana, 236 was the level. Kind of had to sit and talk about it and wah around the fact that the coin just wouldn't move. Now it's below 236. People are buying the dip. Of course they are. It has paid to buy every dip in Solana all year. My thinking is this. If Solana is going to go to 500 or 1,000 or even 288, then why not buy this on the way up, right? I mean, you got paid in Solana to go with an up move. So if there's going to be an up move, let's just wait for the up move to start and go with it. Otherwise, we could be looking at venture capitalists who have huge bags in Solana unloading at the end of the year and taking profits, which could drive Solana down to 180. Or who knows where that could drive down to Solana if big players start selling. Yesterday on the live stream, which is on our YouTube channel, I was talking about, what could happen to Tesla if Musk unloads, which will trigger other funds to unload. I mean, if the CEO is unloading and selling and taking profits, what's everyone else going to do? What happens if the big venture capitalist starts selling Solana? Well, you'll be able to get a great coin at a great price. I hope that's not true. It probably won't happen, but if it does, you want to have cash to be able to take advantage of it. So if Solana breaks out and moons at the end of this week, go with it. If Solana doesn't break out, it could dump to 180, and you might be able to get a real discount on this if venture capitalists puke this out. Now, just as a reminder, here is our structure for what we're thinking is going to happen here. November 21st should be the bottom. Should be. And then a larger move should start. If that is not the case, GTFO. But at the end of this week, if they kill the market, that we believe will be an opportunity to get in and take a shot and buy a lottery ticket that this thing moves materially higher. So that's the game plan as of now. And as anybody knows, in any sport, game plans can change. But right now, we're sticking with the market getting hammered this week and a turn up at Thanksgiving. Now, let's go back to Metaverse. Facebook. Okay, everyone hates Facebook. I know. But you got to stop thinking it this is Facebook. Okay, we want you to make money in crypto. We want you to make money, period. So I'm trying to paint a picture where markets may rotate. So markets may trade Metaverse in legacy while crypto gets hammered, or the market may trade crypto, Metaverse in crypto while equities get hammered. Right now, it just looks like everybody's buying the dip in anything Metaverse everywhere. So why not look at Facebook call options, okay? Or why not look at, Facebook stock, period, not investment advice, as a way, as a leading indicator for the Metaverse? Because think about it. Facebook's done nothing but go up for like 3 days. Sand and Decentraland went down and came straight back. Facebook was telling you that everybody and their brother was BTFD in the Metaverse. So Facebook stock, if it takes out its 100-day moving average, that's kind of like the moving average of the hour, in my opinion, across the board. Facebook takes out its 100-day moving average. You could have the same type of phenomenon you had the last time Facebook did almost the exact same thing, took out its 100-day moving average back in March. Facebook went from 270 to 390 on that move. So if Facebook breaks 350, you can expect Wall Street to wake up on this Metaverse trade. So Metaverse may actually outperform cryptocurrencies. Because after all, we've got Novogratz and we've got the head of Coinbase imitating Novogratz. Because Novogratz said a long time ago that NFTs were going to outlast most of crypto. 75% of the coins out there won't make it, but NFTs will. So if the leading utility for NFTs is the Metaverse, then the Metaverse is the trade to make. And it would be really funny if everyone's like, oh my God, Bitcoin's going down. Meanwhile, over here, the Metaverse is the trade that you can buy on just about any dip, whether the dip lasts 1 week or 1 month. Because seriously, forget the precision timing and trying to crystal ball it. Where's the Metaverse going to be in 3 months? Higher or lower in price? Where's Metaverse real estate going? With Facebook involved. Think about it. Okay, some equity market comedy, because there's always plenty of comedy in the equity market. This comes to us courtesy of our chief quant officer, noting that investor sentiment, that would be wealthy people, as measured by the S&P, is at kind of an all-time high, moving from bottom left to top right. And consumer confidence, that would be the S&P of poor people, sadly, is collapsing. So the rate of inflation in the United States, honestly, is 25%. Government statistics are so arcane. They haven't measured the unemployment rate correct since 2000, honestly, because I was in Legacy and I would watch how they would do this data. That data was just completely misleading. Basically, overestimating the number of quality jobs that were out there. The reason there's a labor shortage now is because everybody was working part-time gigs for low wages, and people have had enough of that. They just walked away. So wages are too low. Prices are too high. Now, is this going to affect the S&P? I don't know. Is this going to bring people into crypto once this thing stops shitting the bed? Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The question is, how long does the blowout last? So rich people party in equities, poor people who have less resources are going to have to figure out a way to keep up with inflation. And the only way to do that is crypto. I'm sorry. The only way to do it's crypto. So I know you might be depressed. I know who knows where the market is. Who knows where it's going the next week. Hopefully there's a big move after Thanksgiving. But even if there isn't, eventually all that money in the system and all this like just depressing stuff that's out there is going to drive people to crypto. Now, let's just briefly touch on precious metals. Okay. Silver, I think, is breaking out. So the fact that silver is holding despite the fact the dollar is going up is probably a good sign for metals. Remember, our AI is into Pax Gold. And I'm hoping it means that crypto doesn't get killed past this week. So if precious metals can hold, why? Because precious metals and ETH are very correlated. So if precious metals don't dump, there's some hope that this correction is over at the end of this week. Polkadot, wick down. I was like yesterday, I was like, yeah, boy, wouldn't it be great if you could get Polkadot at 38? I don't think you're going to get it, but it'd be great. Well, guess what? Wick down to 38 today. That was the 38% retracement of the most recent move up. I wouldn't doubt a move to say 35. That's the 100-day moving average. Again, during corrections, people get really emotional. They get chopped up. And even chart guys that draw the charts who say it could go here are shocked when it does. You know, crypto's unbelievable like that. You say it can happen, you do the analysis, and then it happens, and it's just shocking. Everything in crypto is shocking, even if you know it's coming. Seriously. So if you feel like, oh, Jesus, what am I doing? This market is just tearing me up. You know, I'm on Qcoin. I just lost 30%. Look, I feel bad that you lost money. I lose money. Everybody loses money when the market goes down. The question is for you to remember that even if you know what's coming, it's still a surprise in crypto. Even if you know what's coming. Okay, we talked about this yesterday. Okay, polymath. I want to see if 72 cents holds as support. That's an important Gann line. This is a security token play. Okay, I believe Wall Street, if they're ever going to get involved in crypto, they're going to create the trading mechanism for security tokens issued through this platform. Seriously. So this allows people to kind of go public and issue tokens to people's wallets that are registered securities. It's like SEC compliant. This goes all the way back to 2017. I own this. I talked about it yesterday. Hopefully, if this market gets killed, I want to see if this holds up. If this holds up, turns around and takes out $1, I'm buying more because investment banks are going to want to get involved in the blockchain, and they're not going to want to be late to the party and say, oh, yeah, I bought ETH at the top. No, they're going to do this. This could be a bear market play. I bought this, one, because I was really into it in 2017, talked about that yesterday, was amazed that it got relisted on Coinbase. Coinbase is doing custody for security tokens. So somebody big is going to get involved. And really, this is the only way to get involved in security tokens other than owning overstock.com. So something's going to happen here. And I bought this because the consensus is nobody cares about security tokens. And it's probably a play for the next cycle. And that's not a dumb idea. That makes sense. But in research, you get paid for imagination. So what happens if they do it now? What happens if the whole market goes down and the only thing that goes up is metaverse and security tokens? Nobody wants to buy the dip in metaverse, at least before today, and nobody wants to talk about security tokens. Hence, I'm talking about security tokens. Now, let's talk about the big surprise for today's stream that you stuck around for, that Nano, a digital cash solution that is liked by one of our marquee analysts, okay, because of its transaction speed, okay, they just hired somebody in the cannabis industry, if I understand this right, okay? So if they want to bridge the gap between crypto and cannabis, because as I understand it, or at least it used to be the fact that, you know, a lot of cannabis companies in the United States have trouble getting bank accounts. I know a story. I heard a story in an airport from a security guard. This guy just got hired to drive an armored truck full of cash around the Las Vegas area from all the cannabis money. They got to like drive cash around. Well, that's ridiculous. Why not adopt a super fast cryptocurrency with no transaction fees? Okay. Nano is sitting on its 100-day moving average just below resistance. And I'm wondering if our system is picking up Litecoin and one of our analysts is picking up Nano, because it could be a bird on a wire getting ready to fly because it's sitting on this moving average. Nano has showed no interest in staying below this moving average since, say, August, right? There was a dip below it, but it keeps coming right back up. And it's trading just below resistance at 620. Big dip today, right back up. So what kind of things do you want to have on your books if the thing turns around at the end of the month, or if it, say, turns around at the end of the year? What are the bull plays in the bear market? Now, if you want to know more about this, you want to stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe, because you got to subscribe. Okay. I'm just here to announce to the world right now. We're going to 100K subscribers. I'm putting this YouTube channel on my back and we're going. That's it. Period. I can say that with a smile on my face. I'm not effing around. Tokenmetrics.com, our sponsor, wants to bring you the best analysis in this business. As one of our journalists who runs our podcast, which you can also find on our YouTube page, says Tokenmetrics.com is a roadmap for making money in crypto. So I can tell you all about the AI and all that stuff that we have, but let's just put it this way. Tokenmetrics.com, our sponsor, is a roadmap to make money in crypto. So if you like crypto and you like money, why don't you hang out with the smartest people in crypto? The people who built Tokenmetrics.com and the analyst team that I have the privilege of working with that publishes work for Tokenmetrics customers, basically, I think they're the smartest people in crypto. Is that arrogant? Oh, yeah. Do I care? No. They are the smartest people in crypto. I think they're smarter than a lot of these guys they've got working at hedge funds. So just because we're small doesn't mean we're not smart. Okay? Now, I may not be the smartest guy in crypto, but that's okay, because I may be the loudest guy in crypto. And I got a couple good charts, and I can tell you a story and a narrative about what's going on in the market. Trader Joe, very interesting play. I'm pretty sure you're going to want to come out of the correction keeping an eye on this coin. Now, if this thing takes out a Gann line at $3.43, kind of look out on the upside. But I'm not in the mood to FOMO into this during a correction. But at the end of this week, this is definitely worth a look. Friends, we appreciate you staying with us today. Stay with us going forward. I've got my colleague Forrest working on margin pressure levels in case we have to start selling upticks. In other words, for this week, it's a correction, let it correct. But if we have to start selling rallies to hedge, or if that's the way to make money in crypto, we can help you do that on this channel. All right. So I'm going to come off sharing. Check the time to see how long I've been bloviating. I have somebody here, Alan Fake, saying Trader Joe Biden. Ooh, like that edgy stuff. Love it, but I got to stay off of that because it's crypto. Somebody says, Juliet says, True Bill, TM team is extremely smart. Thank you for the love. We are grateful for your viewership. Okay. Are you guys running a special at the end of this year? Well, I don't know. I'm sure our marketing department is working hard on the holidays. Okay. Part of the special is to unleash me on YouTube. So the market update is normally for our premium customers, okay, who are, subscribers to Token Metrics TV or to one of our advanced plans. And for the moment, we are unleashing on YouTube. So I'm sure there'll be a deal. There always is a deal at the holidays, but you are essentially looking and listening to the Santa special, and I appreciate that. Okay. VeChain should have blown and gone up today. Yes, that is awful. Yes, I am so disappointed that this thing dumped before VeChain broke out. Magazine says turkey in New York City is $11 a pound. Keep that in mind when this thing is dumping and you're like, oh my God, I'm quitting crypto and never coming back. Definitely appreciate those kind of comments. Those are very helpful. Any kind of comments are very, very helpful. Okay. How long will it take BTC recover? Okay. Ali Huds, if I'm pronouncing that right. Well, that depends, right? If Bitcoin stabilizes and rallies near the end of November, Bitcoin could go up a lot. So not giving up on Bitcoin just because today's a big, ugly red day and this could be an ugly red week. Bitcoin could go up a lot. Now, if Bitcoin doesn't go up a lot and gets hammered in December, then the question is, I don't know. It's probably going to take 2 or 3 months for Bitcoin to really go parabolic if that's what's going to happen at the start of next year. So Bitcoin could go down fast for either a week or a month, and it could come back the same way. DT says crypto is our only way out. I absolutely agree. All right, let me take a request here before I wrap it up. Somebody asking about Cosmos, which is a way of saying, how's the interoperability play doing? All right, so I'm bringing the chart up now. Stay with me. Here it comes. Okay, Cosmos, right? So this is kind of familiar in crypto. I really thought Cosmos was going to smoke to the upside, right? The old ceiling I was hoping was going to be a floor. And guess what? The floor fell out. It took out the 100-day moving average. I would say in order for Cosmos to be good, it has to get back above 32. So, to be less dramatic, today could just be the market washing people out, right? Everybody gets bullish. Everyone gets caught. This crypto tax regulation is really, really a problem for not only DeFi, but all proof of stake altcoins, right? Unless you're in proof of work, right? Ironically, Litecoin, proof of work, I believe. Unless you're proof of work, I think that the SEC can come after you or the IRS can come after you based on this tax regulation, this infrastructure bill that's passed. I think the market was blowing that off. One of our legal analysts pointed out that, this crypto tax regulation could be negative for proof of stake. So what's going on in Cosmos may not be the market going thumbs down on interoperability. It may be the market pricing in problems with proof of stake altcoins. Because I talked to this analyst when she did the report. All right. And our conclusion at Tokenmetrics was different than other people's. So what's going on with Cosmos and interoperability? Whoever asked that question, that's a great question. Because it's one thing to see Polkadot retrace 38% of its move. That doesn't look like a big deal, right? It's just a retracement. It's a chance to get a good coin at a good price. But this kind of ugly looking breakdown in Cosmos, it's not because of a problem with Cosmos. It's a problem because the government could be coming after proof of stake. That's why it's probably going to be an ugly week. And that's why you have to be careful that it's not an ugly month. So in conclusion, please protect yourself. Don't FOMO. You got money in trades, not investment advice. Pay yourself, take it. You can always jump back in. It's not easy to recover if you sit and you watch your whole portfolio go down 60%. All right, friends, that is a wrap for today. This is a regular daily market update live stream. We will eventually be changing the time to something earlier to make it more convenient for you. Make sure you're subscribed and you hit the alerts button. Subscribe and follow us, Tokenmetrics Inc. on Twitter, so that when we tweet out the new times and any of the new information about our holiday specials, about more content for you, more live streams, more market updates, more podcasts. Get it while it's hot. Thank you for watching. This is Bill Noble, thanking our sponsor, Tokenmetrics.com. We will see you when? Tomorrow.